go down here, then we go to polarity, and we go... Stop! I'm covering my face. This is a Sound Blaster X7, and I've been trying to learn its intricacies and its finer points for about 3 hours now. And I'm like, you know what, I really want to get this review done today. So let's just put the camera on and see where the fuck it goes. Alright? And then that... See, I knew it was going to be loud and hissy because it was before, but then I tried to turn the other thing on, turn the volume up, went back to it, and why the fuck would you have it do that, Creative Labs? Hi, I'm Zeos Pantera. You may recognize me from other such shows as Z Unboxing and Z Cooks. Also, Z Goes and Z How? I think I had that one. Z Drives. I spent my money on this. I spent Patreon money on this a while ago. Long time, actually. And it's just time. It's just time to get it out of the way. So this is Sound Blaster's greatest Sound Blaster I've ever made. Of all time. It's just the greatest Sound Blaster ever made of all time. If they say that, that means that there's nothing better than this. And if I shit in it in about 30 minutes, it's, you know, you can't buy anything Sound Blaster. Thank God I wasn't plugged into those. So anyway, that's the speaker polarity test for left and right, which if we fucking crank this impossible to see volume, digital volume knob down that just keeps spinning forever with no indicator, and then hit test. Issue number one. I'm going to just start spewing issues. This is going to be a fun one. Volume control for speakers is not smooth. It's just... You could hear it. It's like... It's like a square wave of just like 1423 bit. And it's not like that for headphones. Thank God. But it's like that for speakers. And it's like... Hopefully Static hasn't been copyrighted and is going to get this video pulled. Demonetized. Don't you know who owns the Static song? Alright. Sorry, I'm a little pissed off. Just... kill everybody. So, let's look at this for a second. This is as close as you can get to having like a sound card for gaming without having to actually shove it inside your computer. There's my computer. I have spots. I don't want a sound card for gaming. I don't want a sound card ever. Because USB exists. Literally the format of USB exists. You can plug things into it. Fiber optic exists. It'll even carry surround sound, even in a compressed form. So I don't need to have this sitting inside connected to a PCI Express 1X slot for any reason. Doesn't need to be near my power supply, my video card, all those noisy things. Take it the fuck out. So fine, Sound Blaster, Creative Labs has decided, okay, here we go, plop it out on the desk. So what does this do? Hold on. Better than everything else I've ever reviewed. And that's what I've been sitting here trying to figure out. Because I bought it. I spent over $300 fucking dollars on this because this is the special full fuck tits up white box edition of the great 100 watt per channel stereo amplification. It's all of the things. 600 ohm headphones, easy peasy. I had to know. I want to go. I'm doing this as Zeos. I did it. I'm a little bit... I just got my ears fixed in the plane ride, and now they're just static. I'm going to lay this on its face for a second so we can look at the ass of it. There's a lot going on back here. I don't want to touch anything. I don't want to disconnect anything. I guess we can plug the speakers back in a second.
Yeah, fill me up.
Stop. I'm angry. I just... Okay. Power brick here. And I think I've determined this. This power brick is labeled as a 24 volt 6 amp. Right? In the app, which we're going to talk about, there's an app. There's also software, which I have not installed, because software would put it right there. And you don't want software there, do you? You want the cowgirl there. So we're just going to look at this through the app, because it should be very, very similar. Or the same options, and I can't... I'm pretty sure when you get the higher end version, one of the things they changed that adds like $70 to the thing is a slightly larger power brick. Because there's a mode in the app that says, don't turn this on unless you have the bigger power brick. And they list this one's specs. And they don't list the other one's specs. But I'm assuming that that's one of the big, like, ooh, you have like an extra, what did I say? This was 24.6? So maybe it's 24.4, and they saved $8 over 1,000 units, so give you a smaller power brick. So here's your power brick. That was for one thing. One hole, and I have that much to rant about. Here is a speaker impedance switch between 4 and 8. Actually nice. You don't get that a lot, but then again, most amps just work fine. Almost any Class D amp will just work just fine on any impedance, but this has a switch, like it's the 70s, so that's fine. You get your 5-way binding posts. None of them color-coded, just clear and gold. It's clear and gold. There's no red, there's no white, there's no black. It's just clear and gold, and you have to look at the actual unit to see, okay, there's negative, there's positive. That's how you wire it. This set of RCAs, there's 2 full sets of RCAs. The set here on the right-hand side and the back are outputs. This is all line outputs, and you have, this is left and right, which I have going to the 789 over there, or my secondary 789. You got a rear 3.5mm output and a center sub 3.5mm outputs that I'll split between one plug to 2 speakers. Now that's straight fucking sound card stuff, where 3.5mm are split to a center sub to, like, I get a Logitech Z series, and it's like, Here is an RCA line in, and I was running it from the Geshelli Labs, but then I realized it was just pulling whatever one it decided to pull and not the USB, and I wanted USB and not optical, so I had to unplug that. We've got an in and out optical here, which is, if you're thinking about buying this, you had better be looking to use those, because that's one of the only reasons to do so. And then you got a USB micro there, and that's where feeding its signal. And I finally told it to feed signal, and it's happy. This metal array, which can be easily removed because it's just holes. Bloody holes. This fantastically engineered piece of shit is a headphone holder, and you slide it into some holes that are there. This has got a vent, by the way, for heat. This thing actually does get rather warm. I mean, it should if it's drawing a 50 watt per channel amp. So here's your headphone holder. I'm going to sum up this review right now in the headphone holder. Ta-da! Perfect. That's quality. Class. Someone thought that this was a great idea. I don't know whose headphones are this short. I mean, I've granted 6. These are the Edition XXs. Link in the description, because you're going to have to want to buy something during this review. Are granted long, but they still just like don't. Nothing's going to fit above that line. Even child's headphones, Porta Pros wouldn't like fit properly. They're all going to fit over it, and then they're going to touch. And if they're not perfectly centered or balanced, you're going to get this little game that goes on all day. So I highly don't recommend this. Foam blocks work just fine. Anything works better than that. I'm just keeping it on there so it looks stupid for the entire review. So we've checked out the back already, right? Let's check out the front. So we've got power Bluetooth button. Power or Bluetooth. You hold it down to initiate Bluetooth, which you're going to need to do if you want the app to work. Shh. This looks like a button, is not a button. It's just a Dolby Digital light, which if you're pumping a surround sound signal into it, it'll light up. And this is a lightable button that says SBX, which is their... I actually don't know what SBX stands for. I think through my rage, I forgot what words are. But that's basically their, like, bullshit surround array, noise, compensation thing to make things sound more surroundy. That's the word now. The word is now surroundy. So, plug that back in. I'm not going to plug in the Enog. I'm going to leave that plugged in with that out. The front, again, 3 buttons. Well, no, 2 buttons, 1 not button. This is actually a microphone array, which I thought that was kind of creative. Get it? Get it? It was kind of creative. It's kind of creative. It sounds like a laptop mic. It doesn't sound very good. It's not special in any way. Although I will say, if what that would allow you to do, I'm going to give him a praise. You ready for praise? Praise counter in the corner. You ready? Ding. Just kidding. I'm not editing that shit. What do you mean there's no recording devices installed? Why did it shut off? What happened? Did this one get unplugged? Did this get unplugged? I'll turn this fucking thing on. You know how hard it is to turn this on? You think I'm joking? You know how fucking hard it is to turn this unit on? It got turned off, alright? It got turned off. We've got power here. We've got this plug, which is mostly seated properly. USB here, seated as properly. It doesn't quite fit in all the way. So I'm going to try to hit power. Hey, it turned on. I literally had a 3-minute button pushing session before where it turned off. I turned it off. I specifically turned it off. And then I would turn it on. Nothing. Hold it down. No. Press. No. Press and hold on plugging. No. Press hold. So now it's on. So I don't know what one of those things is fucking with it. If it's the power connector is a little loose or the USB is a little loose. What would be the power connector? Wouldn't it? Shouldn't need the USB to function. Moving on. I'll be very gentle touching it now. We'll see if that you can see that it's lit up. We'll see if that goes away. 3 inputs in the front, just like your mom. A microphone input, and I had just out here the Mod Mic 5 for testing, and that's fine. A 1/4-inch headphone out, which is not quite centered in the chassis.
I found exactly what I made last year.
Oh Jesus, you don't want to know this. Don't talk. I'm filming a review. Unless you want everyone to know in the Sound Blaster review what you made last year. You want to announce that, or you want to leave the channel?
No, I'm doing my taxes, and it's really annoying. Good luck with that. Talk to me after you finish that review, because taxes are really complicated.
I'm not helping him with his taxes. That would have been hilarious, though. Poor DMS. I'll help him with his taxes. He's a good boy. Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, please support so I could take him there and we could see new, better things and move on with our lives. Non-centered 1/4-inch port, which, by the way, is the sluttiest port I've ever used. And I know that's weird to say, that, well, how could it be? But you'll see when I plug that plug in. And then a standard headphone port, which is 3.5mm. Up here is the volume knob, which is digital, which looks dirty. Now here's the thing, it's got this nice texture on it, but it looks like it's been like used to carve cheese. I don't understand, because I tried to clean it, it doesn't get clean. I don't know if that's literally my dead skin being pulled out. There's no indicator, there's a gold ring around it to make it look super gold. When you push it in, that blinks to show that it's muted. When you push it in again, it unmutes. The end. Well, there's an NFC area to hold your phone to pair it. And the thing that makes this an audiophile device, and I'm going to keep making fucking air quotes until the end of days, is if you open the bottom up, you see the bottom here, there is a door, and in that door, you have that. And what those are the op amps. You can swap op amps on a Creative Labs device. That sounds interesting. The problem with that is, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if I could swap op amps, because I have to deal with this thing. So that's like saying, did you know that you have heated and cooled cup holders in this flying bidet? And actually, if it was a flying bidet, I'd be sold on that. So let me think of a better analogy. In this used bus from Mexico, did you know that you have heated and cooled? I don't care. I don't want to get into the used bus from Mexico. Putting this back. You could swap op amps. I didn't swap op amps, by the way. I'm sure it could improve some sound things, but we're just gonna keep being angry. So I gotta move on. Stay, DMS, stay. Should have let him keep talking. Link to DMS TV's. He's not DMS3 TV anymore. He's gone like Prince. He's gone to just DMS. Eventually, he'll just be D. And hopefully move on to just silence. Just be. Have you heard? Talk about his. And then just that's it. So let's plug this in. And we'll plug it in. And it's going to be like. At what point it's going to stop shaking? At what point? Oh, never? Oh, it's never going to stop shaking. It's just. Woo! Okay. The thing I know about audio devices, first of all, especially ones of this fucking cost, is they're usually really well built. And this is a plastic box, and I'm not knocking it for being a plastic box, but it weighs not enough for what it is. Here's a similar stack. I'm going to compare it to the stack. This is a JDS Labs EL DAC, a JDS Labs Atom amp, and a Mica Oragain speaker amp. And I put it together with the JDS Labs stack RCAs, which are bendable but stay in place. And it's a very, very, look at this fucking thing. It's gorgeous. Now, this costs more than that, I'm pretty sure, just because this thing is like a $270 DAC. But you don't have to use this. You could use a D10. Use a topping D10. And then this is $100, and this is like $80, $60, 60, 80, and 100. And then you stack that together, and you've got most of what this has. What it doesn't have is all the bullshit. But it's also metal. Now, granted, the Atom is one of the worst. The JDS Labs Atom amp is one of the worst built things that I recommend, because it's like, it's got buttons, but the knob is sort of like plastic, and the box isn't metal. This is metal. That's plastic, and you can't tell from the video, but... And then this is fine aluminum. It doesn't sound like metal, but that's, trust me, that's fucking aluminum. So there's like a build quality thing. I got these shit stacks. I got the Emotiva stuff. I got this. I'm going to pull this out and throw it in its face a little bit. This is the Topping DX3 Pro. And this is a used one. I actually bought one, and it arrived after the used one, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get there for the review. And this just feels too lightweight for what we're doing with it. And it's warm here, down here, by its buttocks, by its thick bottom. Let's make it make music or something. I don't know. I got the feeling that something right. Okay. It makes the music go. I have it set to high gain mode, which is dangerous because I don't trust this volume. Because just like on the 789, which I wouldn't trust if it didn't have the little yellow labels I put on it, I put these little indicators on it because I want to know, am I going to play music or am I going to blow my headphones up? I can just quickly glance at it. So not having like an indicator. Now, it actually does modify the Windows volume, so if you are running this on Windows 10, this is Windows 7, my old laptop that runs this. I never wanted to upgrade it, so I just fucking won't. Is Windows 7, so if I touch the volume, you don't see anything happen. If it's Windows 10, you probably will see something happening, so it's okay that. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But again, I just turned the knob a bunch of times, so let's mute. Let's just keep spinning it down. Steely Dan. Turn up Steely Dan. So, mute. Let's push that in. Let's go to the app, because that's where we're going to live. We're going to live in the app for a minute or two. Bluetooth? You should know what you're doing. Why you're not connected. I have to hold this down. Then it goes blue. And now it's blinking blue, and now...
recent or upcoming games for that team at this time.
What the fuck is asking you? Technology is gonna... If technology revolts, it's not gonna be Terminator. That whole Terminator scenario or RoboCop scenario is not what's gonna happen. It's gonna be little devices like that and this app just fucking up for, like, I don't know, 2 years. And everyone's just gonna be so bored of it. It'll be like Maximum Overdrive. The very beginning with the ATM tells them to fuck off. That's what it'll be. That'll just be that. So Sound Blaster should be on. Connecting to the Sound Blaster. Oh, I don't know what it is with this, but connected to phone and media audio. Okay. There's an SB Connect button, which never finds it. But I can pair it in the Bluetooth device manager. And then we get all the options. Here's all the options. What does that do? Not do anything. So here's your main master volume. So it unmuted it because I touched it. And I can switch from headphones to speakers. Now, I have a question for you. How do I do that without the app? How do I switch from headphones to speakers without the app? You know? Shinobu? No? Shimkazi? Anybody? Giant titty cowgirl? Do you know? Nobody knows because you can't unless you unplug this physically. So let's put the volume back up. And it does that like you heard it at least a little bit, Jose, that stutter. Like it's not sure if I'm pulling it out. And it's like, speaker again. Okay, it's fine. Which is the least smooth transition. It's trying to do things very fast. And it needs to just calm the fuck down. It needs to be like... See, that's fine. I'm playing with it now. I'm not going to stop Steely Dan. I'm going to lower Steely Dan. We could see it. Lower the volume on the app. That's great. Fantastic. So the only way to switch... I like a headphone amp, or I like a combo unit where I don't have to unplug the headphones, where I can just hit a button and it switches. And this is that. This does that option. It does it like I want to do, but it only does it with an Android or iOS app. I'm pretty sure you can do that with the computer, with the software. Again, I am not installing the software. I have the PDF open that I can read. I am able to read. I am able to see the software. And so far, everything I'm seeing in the software here, having fun with Crystal Voice. Scout mode. Speakers and headphones. Is there a switch button there? I'm basically judging this unit without installing the software because this old laptop, again, it's Windows 7. It's my basic random. It's just play music through fiber optic or sometimes USB. In this case, it is USB. I didn't have to install drivers. I'm so happy I didn't have to install drivers. I just plugged it in and it's working. We get down to that. What is that? Specs? Go. We might have to go to that again. I plugged it in and it just started working. Thank you. Thank you for not making... That is the one thing that I know about Creative Labs. Usually if you plug something in and you don't have drivers, it's that you have to find driver number 32.00734.0433. 32-bit, not the 64, but even though your 64-bit operating system will run it. No. You need a 32-bit or else it won't work with this. That was old Creative Labs. You want to know? You wanted me to date how old I am as far as computer shit? I had a Creative Labs AW64. Go look that up. Know the nightmare of that shit. I was a Creative Labs fanboy back when there was nothing to do with sound on a computer except for like headphones plug in go. I'm just making my reflection just constant now. It's great. I'll put this on the phone holder because that looks safe and secure. So I'm sure you could switch with the app to the speakers or the headphones, but if you want to do it without that, you gotta... I feel like it's like driving an old truck. Like I'm turning the knob and it's not quite changing anything until you go a little bit further. It's like, okay. So it's that whole like driving a truck and like, hey, nothing's happening. Okay, now it's turning right. Oh shit. That's how it's like controlling headphone speakers on this. Again, headphones though? It might still be there a little bit, but it's much smoother. Much smoother. And I can definitely tell I have it on the high power mode because it's trying to blow up these Edition XXs. Stellar Dreams by The Gateway. Which is the 80s Dream compilation, and it sounds like it. I'm sure that's owned by someone who's going to yank this whole video from the internet. Back to the app, we want to look at some interesting shit. Here's some interesting shit. We'll go back and forth to interesting shit. Things that you can't get with like, oh, you buy this stack. Yeah, but you know what this stack's never going to do? It's never going to give you those options. That's the most I've ever seen. Literally the only... I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things in my recording display on Windows 7. 6 items. They're all this unit. This unit USB has given me 6 places I can record from. 6. The mic in, mic array on the front here, it'll record from that, which is how I listen to it. I literally muted it there. Then the line in, which is the RCAs in the back, I can record from that. Then the SBXtreme in, the fiber optic input, I can record from that. The Bluetooth in, I can record from that. The USB host, well, I missed a thing. Hold on, I missed a thing. There, look. There's literally a USB host thing. So you can plug in your fucking phone with an OTG cable to that. And USB host your phone through this. So I forgot about that. But you could record from that. And then there's the what you hear option, which is, I can't think of another thing that does what you hear. And anyone who's ever used old school Fraps or maybe even OBS, to have a what you hear recording option, A, means you could rip shit from Tidal and Spotify real easy, but don't do that. But just that's impossible. You have to get like virtual audio cable and other things to like just record what your computer is outputting. If your game is making noise and you've got an instant messenger and you're playing back music and you want to record all that to Audacity, it's a fucking nightmare usually. But that, what you hear, like that. So I miss that. I do miss having a what you hear fucking option. But right now I don't care. Line in, mic array, set default. Set default. I don't think I could push the microphone array out through the speakers to let you hear it. Probably a good thing, as I don't think there's a feedback destroyer, and it'd be bad. Sound Blaster, the playback device is only 2. So 6 things, I'm sorry, I need an extra finger. 6 things under recording, 2 things under playback. You get speakers, which are Sound Blaster X7's default, and you get SBXtreme out. So I can actually tell it to use the fiber optic out and not this unit itself. It'll just act as like a SBXtreme converter from USB. Or from, yeah, USB to SBXtreme converter instead of everything. So that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I'm closing that now, so we get full wallpaper glory. I brought out a couple more headphones. Now, I know those aren't 600 ohm. I don't actually own a set of 600 ohm headphones. What are my most high ohm headphones? Somebody at home play this game. I don't want to play this game. Stare at my shit all day. I'm going to do the smart thing. I'm going to put this on the top of my head before I play anything. Not on it. We're going to go down here. Of course, static X is what I click on. Do 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 do. Boy, you gotta play out of the speakers or what? So what's that about? What did I do wrong? All right. Here's why we're in. Zeos is pissed. He's recording without being ready mode. What the fuck is happening right now? You hear it trying to play the speakers for like 1 second, and it just flashes the blue. Is it clipping? Is it muted? I just touched the volume and I fixed it now. So hold on. So that's playing, and now that's playing. So if I lower that down. It doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. No fucking sense. 0 cents. You know what makes sense? This knob. Because you go like this. And then it goes linear. Power. It's literally a voltage adjustment. And then you shut it off. I don't like Swiss Army knives. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Swiss Army knives are very convenient to keep in your pocket. Very small. In case of emergency, you have a knife, a fish scaler, a tweezers, a fucking screwdriver, a corkscrew. You have all these things. The problem is, if I put you in a kitchen and said, well, make me a steak, you're not pulling out your fucking Swiss Army knife to cut the steak, are you? If you are, you're a psycho. Go get drugs. Legal drugs that the doctor says to have. What you should pull out is a good knife. So if you're out and about and you don't have access to a good knife, you can't use it. Now, I'm not saying you should also be a person who carries around a toolbox with all the proper tools, although that would be more likely to be me than a Swiss Army knife guy. But this feels so fucking just... I feel like this box is this shape because it was going to be a narrow box and they just kept filling it with shit and it just got fatter and fatter and like a fat Christmas present. And this is what they ended up with. So it doesn't switch very cleanly. The volume knob is jumpy as shit. It's got tons of input and output options. It's got its own built-in mic array. That's fantastic. Because you can plug in normal, regular, good headphones. And if you're playing a game, you have to use a fucking built-in mic array. And I don't have to tell you to go out and check the link in the description for a couple really good USB desktop microphones. I don't have to say that. I don't have to say that when I'm saying, hey, look at these advanced alphas. Don't these advanced alphas look really good? And then you're like, well, they do, Zeos, but I really want a microphone while gaming. And then I'll say, well, why don't you just use these while gaming? And then plug in a USB microphone and then use that like right over here. Like I've got a big old Marantz, but I do, you know, I'm Zeos. But you don't need much for just gaming. It doesn't have to be on your face either. As long as you don't have loud, clacky keyboards and you're using a push-to-talk or you're trying to be better than that. It's pushing these headphones. On high gain, it's treated them much better than it was. We should probably look at the app. Oh, God. Oh, God. It's got the mic muted. Stop. Stop. Hammer time. Hammer time. Hammer time. Okay. We need to fix a thing. We need to fix a thing. We need to fix a thing. I probably left this on listen. Yeah, I did. No. 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 That was no. Back to my backup phone. So, here's our volume control. You can see we're at like 30% because I have it on super high gain. I hope you can see this. If you can't see this, it'll be probably a lot of face reveals. Here's your main choices. The SBX, which is this thing, this button, it just fucks with it. It's just an audio fuckery. If you turn it on, if you go to this, look how many things. If I turn it on here, that turns on. That little icon goes from gray to dark baby puke diarrhea. It's not even gold. What color is that supposed to be? It's not gold. And you have the options of surround, percentage, crystallizer, percentage, bass, with crossover frequency percentage, and I figured out what that was, and that was weird. But surround is basically tries to emulate like surround sound. It just moves shit around you. Crystallizer, my friend used to swear by it. Back when I knew things about audio, he used to have a sound blaster, he used to try crystallizer. And in very small amounts, it can actually like up the detail in things, because it's literally what it's doing. Basically, this is a world of DSPs and equalizers, mostly equalizers. We'll get to the more exciting ones in a second. The bass switch, you'd think this would be a bass boost. It is the exact fuck all opposite of bass bass boost. It's a bass cutoff. I'm like, okay, 35% at 100 hertz. What that does is, it cuts off everything under 100 hertz by fucking either 35 or 70 or 60%. So if you turn this up to 500 hertz, this crossover frequency, and you set this to 100, literally anything you play through it now is, there's no, you just cut the bass out. So I mean, we've discussed this in previous videos, previous gaming videos, that when you take the bass out of a thing, that's sometimes good for hardcore gamers. Hardcore gamers don't care about explosions, they don't care about immersion, they just want to know where the fuck you're standing. Who's standing? You standing there? Are you standing there? Are you standing right there? Are you standing this close or this far? And a lot of the options seem to be aimed, I'm here all week, aimed at making first-person shooters more first-person shootery. So like, I've never, it's like, it's the anti-bass boost. So that's what bass does. Let's shut that fucking off, because no one wants that shit. Smart volume you've got, which is like normal, loud, and night, and loud makes it real loud. Really loud. You think loud would make loud things lower? No, loud makes loud things even louder. Normal, and then night mode, which night mode, what it does in like a receiver, if you have like a night or a midnight or a loudness mode on a surround receiver, what that is so that at night, when the baby's sleeping, you can lower the volume down. But the low end comes up just a little bit, and then the vocals come out just a little bit, so you don't have to play it loud to understand what's going on and feel the rumble. you could play it lower and still get a taste of that. That's not what this does. Night on this one just makes it fucking quieter. Smart volume off. Dialogue Plus. Dialogue Plus takes the vocal ranges, like I was just talking about for the night mode, where human voice, my voice, your voice, Emma Watson's voice, this cowgirl's voice, that's a certain range of frequencies. She's not producing 20 hertz. I'm not producing 20 hertz. Barry White, he gets down low. If you don't know who Barry White is, you're a teenager. Play Barry White to a girl, all over you. It just takes those ranges of vocals, and it just, wherever it ends, 30, 100 to 500, and it just peaks them a little bit. Again, tricky with EQ. It's just, this is the most fancy way to hide what the fuck you're doing with an EQ. Anyone could do all these things with just an EQ slider and be like, oh, I need to put these up. And now Dialogue Plus is enabled. We just don't call it Dialogue Plus because we're not selling you something. So let's shut off Dialogue, but shut off the whole thing. The whole thing's off. By the way, here's a beautiful equalizer. Remember what we were just talking about? You get between 31 and 16K with a level adjustment, and you have a choice between flat, acoustic, classical, country, dance, jazz, new age, pop, rock, and vocal. Let's see what vocal looks like. So there you go. Vocal, if you're improving vocals, you want to jump up in 3 decibels, 4 decibels, and 3 decibels, 500 to 2000 hertz, just like I talked about. So we don't need any of that. Shut off, go to flat, shut off, thank you, good night. So that's the SBX button. That's one button on this app. Now look, the RME ADI2, I sat there for 40 minutes explaining how amazing it was because it had all these options about equalizers. And I'm going to do the same with this, but it's the exact opposite thing. It's like, this is too much. You're just... Baby's first equalizer is what this is. It's like, oh, what does Crystal Voice do? Go to Crystal Voice, and you have... This is for the input of the microphone, so I can't actually demo any of this. But you can put on effects, like if you want to be an alien brute, or an alien infiltrator, or a robot, or a marine, or you want to be emo. Emo's a fucking option on this. I want to sound like I'm emo. Odds are, if you're buying this, you already are. Unstable. Unstable. I feel like I need to make a separate video on a separate channel, on a separate account, where I just listen to myself talk as an unstable individual. That's kind of insulting to people with mental disabilities. Just throwing it out there. I'm not exactly like an activist, but that's pretty fucked up. People are unstable all the time. From up north. Now, I have a Canadian person in my life, and she would not appreciate being called the person from up north, but I guarantee it makes it sound exactly like pasta. Deep voice. Munchkin and Demon. Dwarf, elf, orc, elderly, scrappy kid, male to female, female to male, and neutral. Guess what? That actually sounds kind of fun. I'm not going to knock it on that. I kind of want to sound like a scrappy kid. I just wish you can combine the two, because I want to go from male to female and be a scrappy kid. And an orc. I want to just combine them all. I'll have to get a... Please support me on Patreon. And if my Patreon hits 5,000 patrons, I will buy as many of these as there are adjustments to the voice, and then I will fiber optically link them all, and each one will be set to a different voice change, and then at the end, we'll hear what comes out. It'll probably sound amazing. Smart volume, again, this is for microphones. Noise reduction for the background. Acoustic echo cancellation if you have a shitty room. Focus, narrow and wide. Now that's tougher to do because you can't physically make it narrower or wider, so I don't know what it's trying to do there. Probably just getting the frequency cutoffs. It's just gonna wider things will have more bass, or they'll actually just fake separation. And then you get the mic EQ, and you get flat or 10 presets or 1 DM1, and I don't know what DM1 is, and I didn't look hard enough in the thing, so fuck that. Crystal voice off, even though when this goes in the yard sale, by the way, if you're watching this and you're a new person here, I have a Patreon, right? And people support me on that, and it's fine. One of the main reasons people support me on that is because every month, when I'm done reviewing stuff that I bought, or stuff the companies have sent me, I sell it to you for whatever the highest bid is. and I pay for shipping. So if it's on Amazon for $3.50 and you join my Patreon for $5 and you bid $118.31, which might be the highest bid on this, I'll be surprised if someone doesn't bid exactly that amount. But if you bid that and you win, you get this unit slightly used, slightly fucking abused for that amount of money. So that's one of the reasons to join the Patreon. I'll keep going now. I'm going to put these in the middle. It's like a mid-roll ad. But, you know, for Zeos, because that's awesome. By the way, I've been through two buttons now of the 11. And I've not even opened the settings thing. I started this review before even opening the settings. Let's just get through it. Scout mode. This one's easy. Because Scout mode, this proprietary tech, this is all caps lock, by the way. This proprietary technology allows you to hear your enemies from farther away, giving you a distinct tactical advantage in combat. Why aren't you speakers again? Why aren't you speakers again? I didn't even... It's not muted. I'm not, like, clicking the mute button. Oh, perfect. I don't know if Weird Al's going to get me blocked or banned or anything, so I'll skip through it quick. Scout mode. Can you hear what Scout mode is doing? So this is Scout mode on. I won't swim in your jacuzzi. And this is Scout mode off. You can't make me settle down. I'd rather on. Kick and jump and bite and scratch. By the way, that's Weird Al. I Be Mellow When I'm Dead. From his first album. And all Scout mode does, and I can tell you this as a person who knows a thing or two about audio, is, again, as proprietary as it is, it goes to the fucking equalizer and goes, what do games use for footsteps? This frequency range? Yeah, we'll just push that way the fuck up and shut off bass. That's all it does. Literally, Scout mode replaced by an equalizer. Equalizer APO. I'm going to link a thing in the description. It'll be not the first or second, probably the third link or so. It's an EQ. It's a software EQ that you put in your computer. And it lets you do remarkable things with your whole audio array. So if you play a game and you think you want an equalizer, you want more, but you want to play with shit, download Equalizer APO, get it installed, restart your computer, make sure it works properly, and you can fake any of the modes this fucking thing is trying to sell to you for $300. Like Scout mode. Now it's going to sound like shit. Here's the thing. Again, people playing games, real hardcore people playing games, don't care if it sounds like shit. They just want to win. And if you just want to win, it doesn't matter if it sounds like shit. Blast the treble. Turn that shit way up. Turn that fucking sound up, man. Turn that fucking sound up, man. So that's literally Scout mode is one button. You turn it on and all of a sudden your shit sounds shitty and you're like, yeah. Speakers. Options in here. This is actually interesting. Again, this is where I started the review with the polarity test. I'm not going to make that same mistake. There is, however, direct mode, which I remember it making a click noise before, but I guess it doesn't now, which doesn't allow any EQ or direct mode on a receiver is direct mode on this. It's literally like, hey, we know we're fucking it up real bad. If you'd rather have us not fuck with the way it sounds, put on direct mode. When speakers are playing, there'll be nothing going on. And that's probably the best way to go about it. Because with headphones and with gaming, you could dick with it a bit, like I'm talking about EQs and everything. But if you're listening to just music on speakers, direct mode off, direct mode on. Which actually, this sounds like the polarity's fucked up. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Why do I not hear it? I'm more scared that I don't hear it. Apply, settings. Oh, because direct mode is on? I have it set to full range in front. It asked me which speaker model. It's like EMU XM7s, you know, the speakers I reviewed, the Creative Lab ones I really liked, that were $80. Yeah, they're in the thing. And then there's other speakers, which is what these are. These are, by the way, the Yamo Concert Series. And they look amazing. Even Pasta's like, oh, fuck. I don't like them with the covers off because the driver's a little dainty. But with them covers on, with that tweed and the magnets, and it's they're just sexy. So full range. Something sounds weird with them in that. And you could turn on or off other speakers. You could set it to have the line out in the back, or the amp, or the line out only, if you don't want to ever use the power amplifier. The test. That test hasn't worked. I've tried it 4 fucking times. It works now, thank God. Because content. Okay. Here's another option. Bass reduction, crossover frequency, and subwoofer gain. I can't turn those on no matter what. Unless I could turn that on, maybe? Yeah, there you go. If I turn on the subwoofer, I can do bass management. If you don't turn on the subwoofer, you can't do that. There are just... what's it called modes here? Direct mode for that. Polarity mode. Start. It's not making sound again. I'm scared. I'm literally sitting here like, oh, please don't make a sound. I'm actually glad it's not making sound. Let's shut off direct mode and try polarity again. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Basically, what polarity mode is you fucking wired it backwards because you're a moron. You can fix that here. Isn't that fantastic? So now let's put direct mode on. Now let's play Weird Al. Perfect. Don't judge me for Weird Al, alright? Pasta hates Weird Al. I'm not talking about her anymore. She'll come here and say these speakers are beautiful, though. Okay, that's your speaker setting. Headphone setting. Look how few there are, considering this thing's a monster. I guess everything else is a headphone setting. I also have them in direct mode, which... I don't know how. If I could put SBX on, then it's not direct mode, because it's fucking the hell out of it. Then I have the gain selection, which is here, only on the app. If you have the app on the computer, it'll probably work there too. Normal gain is 32 to 300 ohm. High gain is 600 ohm. Calibration. Now. Oh good, it's not working again. Touch a speaker. Hit test. Nothing. However, you do get to set the distance and the level. So if you have one speaker that's corner loaded, it's back there. And you have speakers here and it's wide open. That one's probably going to sound louder, and you could lower. It's a balance adjustment. It's a distance and balance adjustment. Distance will probably be important. If I had surround sound on, there'd be more things here. In Windows, you can choose between a stereo output or a 5.1. Right now I have Windows set to stereo. I'm obviously not playing a game at my review desk on a 9x21 monitor. So that's fine. Let's get off of that. We don't need to calibrate anything. Cinematic. Basically, this is just 3 options. Dolby Digital decoder, dynamic range control. Now, it comes on normal. Night is compression. This is basically compression. If you put it to night, it makes the lows louder, the highs lower, and so it squeezes everything into the middle. Normal is standard, and full is maximum. But I don't like the way that is, because it should be full is normal. Full dynamic range should be the default setting for everything on Earth. I want the quiet things to be real quiet. I want the loud things to be loud. And that's the way God intended it. So why is there any option besides full? Like, full should be it. And then there's reasons to have less. If you have babies sleeping, or it's on a shitty television, and it won't do the low lows and the high highs. It just has to be sort of normalized. That's what the options are for. But it's not set to full by default, so you go do that first. And again, I don't know if that affects things when I'm in direct mode. Does direct mode matter? Or is that a DAC option? Or an amp option? What are we talking about here? I don't know. Mixer. Oh, interesting. So here's the mic. Oh, Jesus, can I do that? Is that... I just unmuted that. So here's the speaker volume. Here's the mic in or mic array. I'm hoping it won't just output to the speakers, because that would be a fatal fucking flaw. Fatal fucking flaw. Hashtag flucking. You get your line in, your SPDIF in, your Bluetooth in, your USB host in. You can mix all... Here's the thing. I had the RCAs plugged into this, the fiber optic plugged into this, and the USB plugged into this when I first hooked it up, all at the same time. and the music sounded weird. What the hell's going on? And it turns out, another thing that this unit does is it's a mixer. It's a digital mixer. All these things can all play all at the same fucking time. That's incredible. You got a Bluetooth in, a fiber optic in, a USB host in, a fucking RCA line in, and a USB DAC that you could just mix and match all the levels? Oh, God. Can't do that with anything I've got in the fucking house. Okay, that's it. I'm done with that. That's congratulations. Because if you said I need to mix 5 sources and it was those sources, it'd be a goddamn nightmare. You'd have to buy a legit analog mixer, like a fucking Behringer or something, and any digital sources have to be converted to analog so they can be mixed analog. So you're getting a bunch of little DACs, and then I don't even know how you do USB host. You have to USB host into another USB DAC, and then output from that into the mixer. And then where you're putting it, you're going to try to mix it all together and put it into a headphone amp or a speaker amp. Then you need, holy shit. So, bravo, Creative Labs. I mean, I'm sure someone could do a thing like that for cheap and not have it be creative. But I don't know of anyone that's doing it. Profile. Now, this is for specifically me. And I haven't played with it. Or you could load it up. You've got, let's see, Action Adventure, Default, Driving Simulation. No. Music, Real-Time Strategy, and Custom. Let's try Custom. Let's see what this does. Save. Profile name. Eat my shit creeper. Okay. Eat my shit creeper. It's a not sorted or modified. Why are there pictures? Oh my god, what is it doing? Oh, it's asking me for a picture. Oh, cool. I set the wallpaper that I took a picture of that, and that's now what it is. Okay. Oh, this is just my profile. That's it, I'm done. I can export it. I can import from it. I can delete it. Great. I thought it would actually ask me things like what you're hearing, what do you want to have to do with this? I guess that's just it. Bluetooth should be, yes, it's that exact manager, and I can shut off Bluetooth, but then this app stops working, which is a little bit of a flaw. It's like, hey, you know this app that controls everything? Yeah, if you shut off Bluetooth in the app, it shuts off Bluetooth on that, which then disconnects it. And then you know how you turn it back on the box. And then settings. So I haven't been here yet. Let's see what it looks like. Auto standby on. Fine. 20 minutes of inactivity, it shuts off or stands by. I'm assuming it shuts off, it doesn't stand by, because I haven't seen it go into an auto standby yet. Quick control. We're going to control selected features on the notification area, which would be down there. Or, oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. This app didn't just install the app. I installed the app, and it's like, hey, you also need the Creative Labs fucking service installed. And if you don't know anything about services, they bad. I don't want a service installed on my phone to control my fucking sound card on my computer. It's like it's going to sit there, and it's what it's doing. It's sitting here somewhere in this nightmare. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's right there. FX Crystallizer. It's literally, it's killing my goddamn phone. 51 updates available. This is my spare phone. I didn't want to put it on my real phone. So, yeah, great. Quick control allows, nope, off. Refresh rate. Frequency, quick control settings. You can set it to every minute, every 5, every 2. Who cares? Restore defaults, which I'll probably do before selling this in the yard sale again. Join the Patreon, where you'll get to see these videos a week or more early and buy things and ask my advice. Welcome message. I could turn the welcome message on. Help message reset and about the Sound Blaster. That's beautiful. So that's it. The settings. There are so many settings in this fucking unit. The settings screen is like 3 seconds long. So that's it. We've covered this thing. Got volume there. We're set to speakers. There's no headphones plugged in, so there's not even an option. If I plug in, where's my pluggy plug? If I plug that in, we should. Yep, there it goes. It switched over. Did it switch over? Oh, God. Nope. Maybe because there's nothing playing? I love Weird Al, but Pearl Jam now. Or Gorillaz. So I can control the volume. Why can't I switch now? Again. Why is SBX on? I didn't turn SBX on. All those settings we were just fucking with? Off. So now I can't switch the thingy either. I can't switch the thingy. Why? This is a very much a Y unit.
Strange folk arrived in the town. They came in camouflage, hidden behind dark glasses, but no one noticed them. They only saw shadows. You see, without the tricks of the eyes, the happy folk were blind.
Okay. The happy folk were blind. Why would you buy this? Is it because you're a gamer? Oh, I gotta ask this. I gotta look at this before we leave. Because you're a gamer? Because the gamer people told you this is the best thing for gaming? Wake up, sheeple! There is no gaming. There's only sounds. Games make sounds, and music makes sounds, and movies make sounds, and farting makes sounds. It's all sounds. It's how you deal with those sounds. That's all it is. And if you can get an equalizer, you could do half the shit this thing is doing with an equalizer. The hardware itself, how does it sound, Zeos? Is it audiophile levels? Where are we, 35 minutes in this review? How does it sound, Zeos? How does it sound, Zeos? When you put it on direct and you cut off all the bullshit, it still doesn't sound as good as a 789. I mean, that's to be expected, right? But I'm pretty sure I'd be happier still with like a separate, and even a little Atom amp. Liquid Spark. Liquid Spark, I'd still take that over this. And I had this plugged into that to use the output. And the DAC, compared to the balance, also wasn't as good. But that's why there's op amps to swap, so you can make it sound one-handed better. So I don't think anyone needs to spend the money on this, period. It has some interesting little things. I'm not a hardcore 16-year-old gamer anymore, so it doesn't appeal to me. I have car payments and taxes, and things go bad in my fridge that I own, and I have to throw away food. Unless you have that option and problem in your life, you're not really you're just fucking around with some sounds cards. It's great. I miss those days. Trust me, I miss them. Back to the fuck the environment thing. This has never been a problem for me before. Here's the accessories this thing comes with. So it comes with actually a really nice 3.5mm to RCA. Look at those connectors. They're metal, they're labeled, they got good strain relief with a thick cable. It'll be janked, but I like it. Comes with an RCA to 3.5mm adapter with the Creative logo on it. So again, I like that. You can do RCA to RCA, RCA 3.5. It's good, it's solid. Then you got this problem. Let me show you the problem. Now, here's the power brick. Oh, by the way, USB cable is thick. It's nice. Power brick comes with a standard D-sub IEC power connector, like the ones you got in a computer. You know, this one here, this one, and here's the American plug. And here's the European plug. And here's the British plug. Full-size cords, not a plug with an adapter. They got you full fucking cords for every single one. They're guaranteeing that 2 out of 3 are going to be just sitting in a drawer. Whatever the manufacturing, they sell 20,000 of these. There are 40,000 cords that did not need to be made. Just, how about this, Creative Labs? Don't send these if you're not selling this in America. Do you not know where they're going? Is the container that's in China, because it's all made in China, just don't. Like, that pissed me off. Look, I'm not an economist. I leave my air conditioners running all year round. In the dead of winter, I'm like, I want it 50 degrees in here, not 30. Just keep going. Like, I drive my fucking Caprice and it gets 16 miles to the gallon. But that means I have to look out for the environment in other ways. This is bullshit. I don't need two of the. What the hell am I gonna do it? Like, it's kind of cool that I have them, and if I ever traveled to Greenland or something, I'd probably have the right cord for it. But this is wasteful. This is the waste I'm talking about. It's wasting my time, and it's By the way, I watched a video on how this is the best plug design in the world, and I tend to agree. It's really nice. It's fused. It's everything. But at the same time, fuck off. Don't send it to me. I don't live in that country. I'm on the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast. I'm on the East. That's the West. Everybody from here to 300 million people in that direction do not need these cords. Don't send them to us. Don't even manufacture them in such quantities. Are you stupid? I feel like there should be fucking protests in the street. Yes, send me these, although I won't use them. And yes, send me this one, because it exists in my country. These do not exist in my country. If you are from a country where these exist, I hope you get these and not that. It's just that simple. I killed my battery, by the way. The GoPro died, in case you didn't see that edit, because I've been screaming for... You know how long I have to be yelling to have my battery die? Holy shit. Thank God I picked that wallpaper, because it's got to keep at least 3 people watching this, no matter what the view number is. 3 people have not taken their eyes off of the cowgirl. Which, by the way, that wallpaper is available in the description. And every wallpaper I've ever used is in the $2 tier on my Patreon, because sex sells, baby, and I ain't got sex, unless you look at these pants. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm done. I'll link to this. The end. I'll link to the headphones I tried out here. I don't know if this is still on Indiegogo for the advanced alphas. 600s are classic. These edition XXs, damn good on mass drop or drop. I don't know if I can link to the Yamo concerts yet. I've been trying them out the whole day, and it's just like, are you willing to try? I will link to, hey, Future Zeos, get ready to hate me. Because Future Zeos has to do all these things I link. I will link to this stack, which is, again, EL DAC, which is overkill. For if you're just getting this for like gaming, that's overkill. But this is $100. Best headphone amp you can fucking own for $100. This or Liquid Spark or the Geshelli Labs, which is a little bit more, but it needs a special DAC, so I don't really count that in every review. Then this thing. Everyone forgot about the Mica Origane. Look at a little baby. Look at the little baby speaker amp. It's the simplest, stupidest, doesn't even have a power button. It's just click.
Yeah, fill me up.
She's probably going to bed. All right, click on, click go. I'm going to link to alternatives to that, the wallpaper, the Patreon. There'll be a post on the Hi-Fi Guides forum. If you want to discuss this at length, whether you think I'm wrong or right, or you want to post your review or other people's reviews, head to the link in the description for the Hi-Fi Guides forum. And if you want to go to Rocky Mountain and see me yell about shit like this in person, there's a GoFundMe up for that, because I can't afford $25,000. I mean, I can. I'm going to have to, because we're only at like 7 out of 25. But we'll see. I'm done with this. I'm going to pack this thing up. It'll be in a yard sale, and I will see you all tomorrow, because this whole thing was for 1 day's review, and I do dailies on here. So, goodbye. I'm going to sleep now.